Okay, so do it. 1, go for 1, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Last Monday we all started, we walked in, didn't really know anybody, and after having auditioned online and waited even months to start the journey, we were all kind of a bit nervous and excited to see how the next 10 days were going to go.
2012 was our first year, and we went into it very blind because we had the idea. We had a load of ideas.
We needed to see how it was going to work.
Yeah.
So until it was put into the bodies of the dancers, we couldn't really tell the first year how it was going to go. I mean, I suppose we had in the back of our heads the whole thing was set up, and we knew that it would go well, but we couldn't have really thought of how well it would actually go. It was overwhelming.
Yeah, we knew that we had to put in all the systems in place before we began to make the show, and all the rehearsals run completely smoothly, and we did that. And then when the show went up in the first year, the two of us just sat back and we were completely amazed at what we had done in that short amount of time, like completely amazed. And from there, the next year we were able to grow that, and we knew what worked, we knew what didn't work, and the next year again was another step up, and the show was another huge success with a tour that followed it as well. So every year, and especially this year, we both feel we've grown in our roles. All our choreographers and creatives know what they're doing, and I think this year is going to be the best show yet.
By the Take the Floor show, or Dinjo, that was first. It was dancing on the radio in the 1960s, and it was the first time that dancing was on the radio. So we've taken, it's heavily influenced by that, and we're starting with that this year and progressing through the ages of Irish dance.
Sit back in your armchair and switch on the wireless. It's Sunday night, and the winds and rains are pelting across the windows and rattling the doors.
Through the static, a familiar voice emerges, giving its listeners a feeling of ease, comfort and recognition.
The cares and worries of life drift away. Dinjo introduces this week's episode. It is time to let the music lift us. To clear the chairs and table to the corners, there is going to be a hoolie. It's time to take the floor.
I'm Jared Byrne, and I'm the performance advisor on Take the Floor. I first met Paula nearly 10 years ago now. We worked together on a show in the Abbey Theatre, which is Ireland's national theatre. And within an hour of meeting her, we were friends for life. When she explained the concept of Take the Floor to me, she explained that she wanted somebody involved who was involved in theatre generally, but she was very definitely determined that she wanted, because they have choreographers and all of that, she wanted somebody who was a non-dancer. My role was to try and help these inexperienced young people to find the inner performer in themselves and to draw it out of them.
When we went to Riverdance first, and being thrown in at the deep end is quite a good thing, but there was no chance to actually perfect your professional craft. So what we wanted to do is be able to pass that on to people, because it's 20 years on now and people expect an awful lot more from show dancing. So in these 10 days, it's a crash course in how people should perform in show dancing, because we didn't really get that chance. We were just thrown into it, and people need to see that process and need to learn that process before going into shows now.
It gives you, it's more confidence, it's more of a confidence thing performing to competition dancing.
They've been giving us good tips and like sort of tricks on how to do show stuff, and how you present yourself is a lot different, and I've learned how to actually, like, when you enter a room, how to, like, carry yourself better and present yourself on stage better.
So this year was a little bit different. It was really nice. Kira and Michael and Shane did a little kind of gave some advice about how to start auditioning for shows, how to get your resume out there, how to get your name out there. So it was nice. I mean, we've learned all the techniques with the dancing, but it was nice to get a little taste of how to get yourself in a bigger professional show. So they, gave us the right format for a CV or resume, and they told us how to present yourself at an audition, and it's really nice now. I feel really confident going in, sending my video or my resume, or even going to auditions. I feel really confident.
We had a casting session, which for me was my personal first, and I think for many others it was as well, which was a bit nerve-wracking, but it was really nice to kind of get a sense of how everybody dances and what their style is like.
I think I definitely gained more confidence in like performing and how I present myself like to people and on stage.
It's more about your upper body, keeping yourself strong.
Yeah.
Which it transfers into competition as well.
Yeah, it's like the difference between show and
it's so different.
Competitions. It's like when you go into a competition, they're saying it's like, look what I can do. But then when you come out and do a show, it's like,
do
look
all
at me.
this stuff.
Look at me. Like half the people in the audience don't know what your feet are doing.
The dancers we get here are coming from a competitive background. They're all very young. They've never really done a lot of performance stuff. When they come here on the first day, it's funny because they come in and they're very shy and they're very nervous. And when we see them working together and they work with our choreographers and ourselves and each other, and they form these bonds with each other. And when you see them really coming out of their shells, I think is probably the best part of this whole project for us, because you see people who might not have
had the greatest amount of confidence. Self-esteem might have been quite low. And then after the 10 days, you see it probably about day 6, they just start to blossom, their personalities come out, they can let themselves shine, and maybe they haven't had that chance before.
And as performers as well, you see them on the first day, and they're very, straight-faced, and you're trying to work from the inside out, whereas they're learning Irish dancing from the outside in. They have to take a shape, and that's what they're taught in traditional Irish dance. And we're teaching it from the inside out. So at the start, it's a very...
to flip it.
They don't really know what we're talking about at the start, but then to see them actually using what they're told, and you see them really blossoming in their performance, and it really is very emotional to watch, and it is amazing.
I had no experience with shows. I was only a competitive Irish dancer, and I get so much out of this, and I've learned so much, and I feel so prepared to go into the professional world.
I've always wanted to do shows, and this is like a work experience version, so it's brilliant to get into the show like profession.
What I usually say to them is, and what I said to them again this year, and they really got it straight away, was that in competitive dance, you're essentially saying to a small group of judges, look at me, look at what I can do. But as a performance dancer, what you're actually saying really, in essence, is look at me, look at who I am.
Coming from like super competitive backgrounds, like this is something that I've like pretty much never done. So it's like way different. It's like not turn your feet out, cross your feet, point your toes. It's like keep your arms up, look at the crowd, like stuff like that. Engage them.
I think it's with any ideas when they're in your head and they're very small, and then we always add little bits to it, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So on a creative level, both with the project and with the show, I think it's great when we spend so much time working on this. We live in different countries, but we are connected all the time working on this. So from a creative level, we get to go through all the music to plan the whole show as we see it in our heads, but it's only in our heads until the end of the 10 days.
Yeah.
So to see something that started off as a tiny thing as your head
and then turn
into a full production, I think is just amazing.
so fast. Get them in, teach them choreography, teach them how to project, which was very hard.
Yeah.
Then teach them how to use their arms and how to move and how to connect with an audience. It all moves and happens so fast.
When they say you're going to be thrown into the process, you are going to be thrown into the process. From day one, we were learning steps and putting them into numbers, and I mean, by day 2 and 3, people already had so much to practice that we didn't even understand, I think, how much choreography we were going to have learned.
It's been great. Like, it's been an amazing experience, and I wouldn't have changed anything for the world. It's a lot of hard work and dedication, and it's a lot of stress. But at the same time, like, every day when you get back at the apartment, you just feel so fulfilled and so strong with everything that you've learned, and it's amazing.
Hard.
Yeah.
Ridiculously hard.
It's like football camp, but like Irish dancing. That's the way I would put it. Like, it's like every day you get up super early, and then you come here, and then you like sweat your ass off, and then like
Yeah, you just work.
then like no,
all
you're,
day.
then like 3 hours later, you have to like wake up again. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it's like.
We had been rehearsing all week to tracks of the band's music, but when Bjoga walked into the room, it just changed the energy in the room. It totally changed the energy in the room for all the kids involved.
Really revived.
So, yeah, suddenly it was now real.
My name's Elaine Canning. I'm the vocal coach on Take the Floor this year. It's my first year on Take the Floor, and I'm working with our soloist, Roisin Carlin. She's going to sing the piece that was composed by David Downs, which is?
Here to stay.
Here to Stay. And with that, we're also bringing in the full cast of Take the Floor to sing the chorus bit. So we're going to do a vocal warm-up with Roisin this morning to get it all la-la-la-la-la before she goes live tonight at approximately 8:15. Or as they say in the business, 12 minutes past 8. Just go from the marry and he comes back and
When he comes back, he'll marry me.
when he comes back, he'll marry me, my Johnny's. So when you take the breath in between the two, can you make it sound like more passion rather than you need the breath? When he comes back, he'll marry me, my Johnny. That longing rather than he comes back, he'll marry me, my Johnny's. Do you know what I mean? That and crescendo through the marry me. Do you know what I mean? Crescendo through it so that more passionate. When he comes back and when
he comes back, he'll marry me. My Johnny's gone for a soldier. I first heard about the auditions through the dance school I'm with in New York called the McGuff Academy. I first heard about the dance auditions, and then after that I heard about the singing competition they were doing online. And I like both, but I prefer singing a little bit. So I decided to go for the singing audition, and I submitted a video entry, and then all the entries had to be voted for every day, and you had to make it into the top 10 to be selected by one of the judges. So I made it into the top 10, and after that they picked a top 3, and I made it into the top 3, and then they emailed a couple of days later to say that I had it. Sing it out, shout it out, bring it on. Here to stay, here to stay, here to stay. It's been an amazing experience so far. Getting to work with someone like Elaine Canning is incredible. It's just been brilliant, and it's been tough and hard work, but it's worth it.
Well, for me anyway, and probably speaking for the two of us, the greatest joy about working on Take the Floor is the dancers themselves. You know, we only see them on a screen before they arrive here on the first day, and then to see them in person and see them develop and blossom as the 10 days go on. And then for the first show to come up, that curtain to go up, and to see them actually perform. It's just it's just a joy, and it's kind of, you know, it's what we set out to do day one.
I kind of want to keep in touch with everyone that I got to know here. It's been amazing kind of getting to know a lot of people from all over the world.
The friendships that we've made will last a lifetime. We've met so many people, so many different types of people from different countries around the world.
The group itself, we're all really similar and different, kind of, which sounds weird, I know, but the dancing brings us all together, even from all different parts of the world, and because we love it all so much, we find that there's so many similarities between us that we can just hang out really easily and have a great time together. We all work hard together, we sweat together, cry together, and then end up being friends at the end of the day. So it's been really nice to kind of see such a big group of people be amicable with each other and end up building genuine friendships.
No one knew anyone coming in the first day, so we kind of, as the choreography kind of unfolded through the 10 days, and their friendships formed, and we saw these lovely relationships between all the dancers happening, and it was beautiful to witness.
For the most part, we were a very good group. And we meshed really well together, and no one had any major issues. It was like day one, walking into the studio, we all just put our bags down randomly, and it was just awesome. There was no gossip and or drama.
The dancers are lovely. I was worried that there'd be a bit of a split, that I might feel like the singer and then the dancers. But no, like everyone gets on so well, and they've been really friendly to me, and I haven't felt left out at all.
It's been such a good experience to finally do.
And you get so close with everyone.
Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome.
What time is it?
It's 7 minutes to.
7 minutes to the first show. Dancers are backstage. We have an audience, which is really good.
Dancers are as ready as they're going to be. Which is fine.
Yeah. I think once the music and the audience all come together, they're all gonna pop.
It'll be fine. We gotta go. Let's go.
You ready to do this? Let's
go, TTF! Woohoo!
Just all you have to do is just remember everything we've talked about over the last 10 days, all the professionalism, keeping calm backstage, knowing your cues, knowing your costumes, and above all, everything else, just make this first half the most smiliest first half ever, because none of these people in the audience want to come and see people with blank faces.
No.
Everybody, if you smile, they will have the best night of their lives. Really, if you don't smile, they're going to go, oh, they look miserable. So just plant that smile on your face and beam it out across. Remember, absolutely, just go through, from now in the next couple of minutes, go through everything we've been talking about over the last 10 days and just let that
And try and
fly
enjoy
out.
it. I know you're thinking about steps and you're thinking about placements and all the rest of it, and that's really important. But you have to enjoy it now. You've put in 10 days of back-breaking work, and all of this is it's about to pay off in 5 minutes. So let it pay off and enjoy it, okay? Great.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Everybody, we got a very special guest, a couple of very special guests here. I'm sure you all recognize them. This is Bernadette Flynn and Damien O'Kane from Lord of the Rings.
We just took a detour around to say we want to wish everybody the very best of luck. We can't wait to see you. We saw it last year and it was incredible. So you have to just take 2 minutes to reflect back on your last, how many days have you had?
10 days.
Your last 10 days, okay? You've gone through highs, lows, tears, pain,
Blood,
okay?
sweat.
Blood, sweat, abuse, crazy times, good times, a roller coaster. Put it all out there on that stage and enjoy every second of it, okay?
This is the culmination of what you're here to do.
Yeah.
And it's your first introduction to show dancing, so really embrace it and enjoy it, what you're doing, because it'll be incredible.
Yeah, and we can't wait to feel the energy, so just create as much energy as you can and enjoy every second. Okay, so get feet up.
Raise the roof. Thanks.
Okay.
my third time.
We thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. The great energy.
Absolutely amazing that they could do that much in 10 days.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic. Great standard of dancing.
We're all knackers, but we're all thrilled. It was a great few days. Brilliant crack.
Really like it. Haven't seen anything like it before. Highly recommend it. It's excellent. Yeah. Take it to Australia.
It's giving young teenagers a chance at the big stage. And that's really what they're striving towards all the time. When they're at classes all the way up along, they're striving to be that person in Riverdance or Lord of the Dance or whatever production it is. They're striving for that position all the time. And it almost seems unattainable because there's so few people involved at that level in Irish dance, where now this gives them the stepping stone from here to the next level. And some of the dances that we've previously had have just been accepted into Lord of the Dance and Riverdance, and there's 30 odd of the dancers that we have worked with are now working in the professional world. So that stands for Take the Floor, and that's what we're trying to do with them. We're trying to work them through that transition from competition to performance.
I did Take the Floor for 2 years. First was in 2012 and then 2013. When I started in 2012, I didn't have a lot of show experience, but with doing the show, I gained more show experience as the 2 weeks went on. And then we did obviously the one show in Dublin, and it was brilliant.
This is my third year doing Take the Floor, and a couple weeks ago I auditioned for Riverdance, and I never would have had the confidence to do that if I hadn't had done Take the Floor for 2 years before. And I heard back the other day and I got in, so I'm really excited, and I'm still kind of in shock actually.
I attended an audition today for Lord of the Dance, and I took most of my knowledge from Take the Floor, how to stand, how to be a show dancer, to perform as when you're on stage.
I start with Riverdance in a week, so I'm not even going home. I'm staying here and I'm dancing in Dublin for 2 weeks at the Gaiety, and then I go home for a little bit and I come back and I'm touring the UK and Sweden. And it's really cool. I get to actually tour with Kira, our choreographer, so that's kind of a cool experience for me.
Doing Take the Floor did show me a lot of things, not just to perform on stages, but how to act towards shows. And if I didn't do Take the Floor, maybe I wouldn't have got in.
I've learned a lot of techniques from Take the Floor that have really prepared me for Riverdance, I think.
Yeah, audition went brilliant. I do start Saturday.
Come to Take the Floor and experience this. 10 days of the most intense rehearsals and practices you've ever experienced, but at the end it's so rewarding, and it really is a taste of what the professional life will be like. The stresses, the excitement, all of the emotions, everything put into it just is amazing, and it changes you as a person and as a dancer. I feel completely different, and even from last year, I'm a completely different performer, dancer, and I just feel like I'm ready for the next step because of what I have learned from Shane and Paula and all of the choreographers here. Like Julia, we're ready. We've learned so much, we've taken away so much, and I'll never forget all of the little bits that they've told us, from head to toe, your presence on stage, how to connect with your audience. Every little bit is something that you'll never forget.
My role? Oh, well, I'm the productionist.
She's the coffee lady.
I try to be here for
I'm still waiting on that. I'm waiting on a cup of tea since the first day, 3 sugar.
Erica Bell was our mother for 10 days, and we love her. She's my favorite. Yay!
didn't know this is video. Last day, Joe. You're going to miss them.
No. Of course I am.
Thank you.